Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Inappropriate Movie Database, the comedy game show about content warnings. I'm your host, Nick Martucci. We're starting a new month on this show with some negativity, because I feel like we don't have enough negativity on this show. Before we get to that, if you're new here, welcome. I'm glad you picked this episode to start with. If you like this, go back and check out some of the other episodes. There's like 180 of them, and most of them have better vibes than this one. I'm gonna keep it fun. And if you're not a member of the Facebook group, you should join that if you search Inappropriate Movie Database or click the link in the description of this video. That's where you can get all the information about this show, including how to be on it. I think right now June is totally booked out, but if you want to be on the waiting list of any of the shows we have coming up this month, there's always a possibility at drops like there was tonight, which is why we have 3 players. This show is loose. We're having fun. Tonight on the show, we are doing movies that for one reason or another, I probably am never going to see.
No.
I kind of got this together when I realized there was a few movies that I have, we've been doing the show over 2 years now. I have some movies that have been written for other themes that never got used. And I want them off the list because I don't care about them. So that's what we're going to do tonight. We're going to do some house cleaning. I also added some new ones, and you'll start to see a theme as to what I like. I think it's important what is for you and what isn't, and I don't think any of these are for me. So without talking, we don't have any mini games tonight because I want to get through 12 of these. Aside from the final question, I've changed that up a bit, but we'll get to that when we get to it. For now, let's bring in our contestants. Joining me on the show tonight are Marty Viscosi, JD Stephans, and Tyler Durniak. Welcome, everybody.
Hello.
Happy to be here.
Hello.
Let's start off with returning champion. Might be one of the last times I get to say that.
That's so rude.
But I love having them on the show so much. JD Stephans, welcome back.
Thank you. It's not my fault that it's gonna be one of the last times you ever say that. The rules got changed. Something about like need to be fair or something. I don't know.
Again, I don't want to call it the JD rule, but I have changed the game so that if you're the only player going into the finals with negative points, you can't win the game. As funny as that has been every time it's happened too much. I'm starting to feel bad for people who
I'm getting punished for winning is what's happening, y'all.
And that's like the spirit of America.
Yeah.
JD, keeping with the topic tonight, I'd like to ask you, is there any movie that for one reason or another you think to yourself, I'm never going to watch this movie? I know that's a big question, but just anything that
I would never ever see ever.
Yeah.
God, that's really hard because
it's a big question.
Listen, I don't like scary movies, but would I endure them for the right person? Yes. What is something I will never see? Is it never see again or never see like for the first time?
Never see for the first time. That was something there was a few movies I wanted to add to the list, and then I realized I had already seen them.
Oh man, that's hard. Because there's like certain things where I'm like, I could do with an hour and a half back of my life from that.
Okay, well, what's one of those? What's one that you can tell people, hey, this isn't worth your time? I'm asking you too many questions for the state you're in.
I feel like people are going to get mad at me, but I didn't like Annabelle.
I hated Annabelle.
Okay, cool. We can be friends. I wasn't a fan. Listen, I don't like scary movies. I got drug into the situation. Was not happy. 2 thumbs down.
I would love if there was a scare in that movie and not just people making dumb decisions so that a Black woman can die for no reason.
Just 0 stars. 0 stars. Not a fan.
In the Conjuring universe, I've seen Conjuring 2 and I've seen Annabelle. and I think hate the Conjuring series at this point. Yeah, that's an excellent choice. If you haven't seen Annabelle, keep that streak going. JD, thank you for being here. Also on the show tonight, somebody who I know has a lot of opinions, so I feel like might have an answer for the question at hand. Marty Viscosi, welcome back on the show.
Hello.
Hello. How are you doing today?
It's real hot here, and I can hear like a third of what's going on. So I gotta make a hard choice between like being physically comfortable and doing good at this game in the next like 3 minutes.
I've never thought that nobody's gonna win the show, but I'm having a feeling that nobody's gonna win the show tonight.
That's fair. I was gonna say like the Conjuring series as a whole, but then that felt like cheating to pick a franchise because like I've seen like one of them and I hate the Warrens. They're terrible people. I don't want them to keep getting money. That said, like I also feel disingenuous picking Annabelle because like I also did not like Annabelle, but I am a person who makes stupid white people horror movies. When I was in Philadelphia this weekend, my girlfriend and I passed a window for a doll museum, and she was like, "Oh, it's always closed," and I was like, "You can see the dolls inside." And she walked the fuck away.
This doll museum hasn't been opened in 50 years.
There were dolls in there. That's what's driving me crazy. But anyway, let's settle on. Hello. Jesus Christ, man. You want to make life a little harder? Okay. Insidious 2.
Yeah.
From what I've heard of Insidious 2, yeah, that would be on the list.
Yeah.
I only just saw the first one recently and liked it to a point, but didn't love it the way some people love that movie.
I hate that flavor of horror. I hate like things that are super over reliant on jump scares.
Yeah.
I hate like, oh no, it's demons, like for the sake of demons. And also I've heard that the second one is super fucking transphobic. So
yep. So yeah, Insidious 2. Fuck that movie.
Not to put anyone on blast, but apparently Sammy James thought I meant Insidious 2 every time I said Sinister Year.
Those are two very different movies.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, this is if this is anything, this is an episode to really just air grievances, and there's nothing any of you can say that's gonna make people hate you more than they're gonna hate me at the end of this show. So have fun.
Oh, you know what? I didn't like it. Oh, I said it.
Which one?
It.
I have such complicated
the
feelings.
Original, the first movie, the second movie.
Okay, didn't see the second, didn't stay around for that. Gonna say the remake. Okay. The original was tolerable, but also made for TV, so kind of campy and not.
All right, well, thank you both for coming back. Let's bring in somebody who hasn't been on this show in a while, and that's been missing. I'm so happy he's back. I'm so happy to see his face. Tyler Durniak, welcome back to the show.
Hey, happy to be here. Happy to be hanging out again.
Yeah, I think, is this the first time you've been on this year?
I think it might be. It might be the first time this year.
I mean, you have been like so busy with all of your shows lately. You've just this is I feel like this is your comedy year.
Don't say that, because that's going to jinx it.
I can only hope.
The world doesn't need more me is the issue.
But no, like you run great shows. You and Matt Shore run a real weird but fun show.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate that. And it's going to be great to let that power run right to my head. And, I'm getting real excited about it.
I mean, you are now officially a comedy booker in Boston.
I know.
You have to start being a lot more bigoted.
Yeah, I've been training.
Well, Tyler, to go back to movies, do you have an answer to this question? Is there anything that you just you don't think you're ever going to see?
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to see Bucket List. If you remember Bucket List.
That is the perfect answer for this.
It's not out of any moral or any sort of quandary. I just don't think it's gonna come up. I don't think it's gonna. I'm not gonna have a night where I'm like, do I want to?
Time for Bucket List.
This is the night. This is it. I gotta watch Bucket List.
Time for one of Jack Nicholson's last movies.
Was it?
It was cute.
It's fine.
And you know what?
Wow.
If I want to, it's as good as any movie that co-stars Sean Hayes.
That's fair.
I was either going to say that or Without a Paddle. Like those were the two.
Also good.
That's blasphemy. That is a fantastic movie.
What do you mean that's blasphemy?
I liked that movie. I was really stoned.
Yeah, I mean, I like that because it kind of brings me to how I approach this list. There's a combination. These are movies that either there's something about the movie's premise that I don't like and I don't want to deal with, or there's some kind of objectionable person involved in the movie that I don't feel like supporting, or it's just something that's like Bucket List, where it's just, I don't need to put this on. I'm never going to have the opportunity.
Yeah, I was interested in seeing what the movies were, because I was like, what if we find out that every movie that you've decided you're never going to see happen to star like a female lead, and it's just you refuse to see movies with women.
I just come in with just Sofia Coppola's catalog.
Anything that's ever passed the Bechdel test. I just don't think they should be
behind the camera. I think you will see some patterns. I don't think you'll see that pattern. There's also, I'll throw it off top just to kind of ease that. I still stuck with a rule that I've had on the show since I've started. As much as I'm never going to see them, there's no Woody Allen movies on this list. There's no Roman Polanski movies on this list.
Hey, Nick, I have a quick question.
What's up, JD?
This is kind of a very tiny roast, but I just want to know, does this include all the movies you lie to us on air and tell us, oh, I'll check that out, knowing full well you never fucking will?
We're Sinister 2, Nick. I've been watching your fucking Letterboxd. My birthday month just ended. Happy Pride Month. This is your second fucking
just wanted to know. Inquiring minds.
I've seen some of the movies that have been recommended.
Oh, excellent. Which one, Nicholas? Let's hear about it.
I mean, I saw Sinister so I could see Sinister 2, and I just haven't found Sinister 2.
Didn't want to be lost in the plot.
I will be in Massachusetts this time next week. I will bring the DVD with me, motherfucker. Do not put that energy out in the world, because I will match it 10 fucking fold.
There's so many movies. I mean, that is a fair way to start the show. I promise to watch all of the movies y'all said you're never gonna see. Yeah, I think that about settles it. I think, like I said, we're doing 12 movies tonight. We're not doing mini games aside from the final question that hopefully I've changed it a bit so that Marty will stop getting so angry at me every episode. So let me bring up that list. Here's what's going to happen tonight.
This is why we can't have nice things, y'all.
If you're new to the show, here's how this works. I've gone to IMDb, the Internet Movie Database, and I've pulled parental warnings for a bunch of movies that I personally will never see. These parental warnings, I don't write them. I don't know who writes them. These are anonymous weirdos that have provided me over 2 years of a show. And for that, I'm forever grateful. Also, a little hard to put these movies together. Because like I said, I've never seen any of these movies, so I can only assume that these clues are helpful to you. I'm going to read these clues. My friends here are going to try to figure out what these movies are. I think it's time to just jump into the game. And to do that, JD, I'm going to let you pick the first year.
Oh, excellent. Yeah.
Would you like a movie I'm never going to see from 1990, 2001, or 2011?
Let's do 2001.
2001. All right, first movie of the night from 2001 for 5 points under the category of violence and gore. There's a boxing match and two men punch each other repeatedly. One ends up with a cut on his eyebrow, which we see being stitched up, and the other has some blood around his mouth. There is a bar fight with several men being punched in the face and tables and chairs being thrown around. JD has a guess for some reason. Anybody else? JD, what do you think this movie is?
That was cruel and mean. You don't know. Maybe you've seen this.
All right. Well, what do you think?
I was trying to remember which Rocky I was going to say. Okay, you know what? I'm going to put my hand down.
Okay. For 4 points under the category of sex and nudity, various scenes showing wounded soldiers with their buttocks exposed, either partially or entirely. Tyler has a guess. Anybody else? What do you think, Tyler?
Is this Gallipoli?
Gallipoli?
Yeah.
No, in fact, I don't know what that is.
You don't know Gallipoli?
I don't know Gallipoli.
How
Are you
dare
mispronouncing Gigli?
No. The Australian Alamo?
I mean, you're probably not wrong that I'm probably never going to see Gallipoli. But it's not this movie.
I feel like I'm just sad that none of us can check him on if that was pronounced correctly.
It's Gallipoli.
Well, now you know how it feels to listen to Tyler's comedy. I'm not smart enough to know if you're telling the truth about everything you're talking about.
I believe Stephen Colbert called it truthiness.
For 3 points under violence and gore, there are air battles, with planes being blown into pieces and crashing. One scene shows a fire breaking out on board a plane, and the pilot is unable to eject, and eventually crashes into the water. A bullet-riddled plane is seen with a blood-covered cockpit. A huge number of dead bodies are seen floating in the water. A dead woman is tossed on a pile with other dead bodies.
Came out in 2001.
2001.
With some plane crashes.
Hey, look at that little hand that's raised.
I see that little hand that's raised. What do you think, Tyler?
Is this Pearl Harbor?
Tyler, this movie is Pearl Harbor.
Woo!
Michael Bay, Ben Affleck, Pearl Harbor. Have a feeling I'm never going to get to it.
But you'll never get to see that guy cheat on his eye exam.
Other clues in here, violence and gore.
It's true, it happens, actually.
The attack is shown in great detail. Bombers fly overhead, shooting at, bombing, and dropping torpedoes on naval vessels. Frightening and intense scenes. It's a Michael Bay movie. More explosions than you can count. That means Tyler's in the lead with 2. Everyone else at 0.
Ooh.
Marty, we're going to go to you.
I turned off my AC so I can hear.
Oh no.
we just see steam slowly rising.
That's what the fan's for. It's a backup.
I also just have a fan blowing on me right now. Marty, would you like a movie from 1991, 2016, or 2022?
2022.
Let's do it. This movie came out last year for 5 points under frightening and intense scenes. A woman has several outbursts where she lets out demonic-like screams. All right, Marty came in real confident.
Now I'm not confident if it came out last year or this year. Or if it's come out at all yet.
All right, well, I'm going to go to Tyler first while you debate.
All right.
All right, so you said demon-like screams.
A woman has several outbursts where she lets out demon-like screams.
Is this demon-like in that the Count from Sesame Street is vampire-like? Or is this demon-like as in she is not a demon?
Again, you will have to ask the IMDb contributor that question.
Okay.
All right, Tyler, what have you come up with?
Oh, God, I'm trying to... Malignant.
Marty, what do you think?
I think you liked Malignant, if I remember correctly, because I didn't like Malignant. I'm gonna go with my first guess, which was the new Jeepers Creepers.
I mean, yeah, Malignant, if you get past that first hour, I had a lot of fun with where that went.
You liked the okay.
I love how I love a go for broke premise. I love just absolute chaos. Also, Marty, you're correct that I'm never going to see any of the Jeepers Creepers, but that is not this movie.
Can I get like partial credit?
I mean, no.
Fucking rude, Nick.
Man, that was great.
For 4 points under sex and nudity, there is a threesome sequence with a vague full frontal female nudity and graphic thrusting and moaning. Female breast nudity is also seen throughout this movie, albeit befitting the plot.
What was the year on this movie?
I know what this is.
2022.
Of what?
2022. Last year.
And it had female breast nudity, you say?
And it had a threesome. That's important.
Albeit befitting the plot.
I'm so mad because I was gonna guess this or a movie connected to it last time.
Go ahead, Marty.
I think this is X.
Marty, I really still need to see X. This is not X.
There was another movie with a plot-relevant threesome last year.
I didn't say the threesome was plot relevant. I said the female breast nudity was plot relevant.
How many demon screams?
Wait, is the female breast nudity not related to the threesome?
I don't think so. The female breast nudity is seen throughout.
Oh.
The threesome sequence just has vague full frontal female nudity.
Oh.
What's the name of this movie?
I have not given you the name of this movie yet, JD. We're still playing the game.
I need to know what other movie came out last year that has spooky, scary yells and threesomes, because this sounds like a fucking party, honestly.
I was just excited. I was like, oh, I want to go watch that.
For 3 points under sex and nudity, a woman's nude calendar and other nude photos are seen at various times.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Marty has another guess. Anybody else want to take a guess? All right, Marty, third time's a charm.
I don't remember what it's called, but is this the new Marilyn Monroe movie? Like Marilyn or whatever?
I will give you the point unless somebody can name the title of this movie. Tyler, you've got your hand up.
Blondie.
Tyler, that is incorrect enough. This movie is just called Blonde. I will give the 3 points to Marty.
That's how I say that word.
I feel like I don't need to see the movie where they torture Marilyn Monroe for 2.5 hours.
What?
Do I get to not lose a point for that though? Can I not?
Yeah, I'm not gonna take away a point for that. Sex and nudity. Norma Jean's mother's bare breasts are shown during a bathtub scene. A vague front nude shot is then seen after Norma Jean has been taken in by a neighbor. And frightening and intense scenes, the story of Marilyn Monroe is very depressing, and the movie often shows how tragic her career in Hollywood is. This is also a movie, like I said, I haven't seen. I just know it features a scene in which Marilyn Monroe has a conversation with her aborted fetus.
How does it go?
Probably really good.
Conversational.
They have a lot in common. A lot of cells.
Wow. Wow, Nick.
Marty and Tyler tied at 1 point each. JD, just along for the ride.
I'm a chillin'.
Tyler, would you like a movie from 1951, 2011, or 2015?
Let's do 51.
Let's do 51. All right, 1951 for 5 points. Under frightening and intense scenes, the film is a dark and intense tragedy. All I'm going to give you for 5 points.
It's very helpful, Nicholas. Thank you.
For 4 points under sex and nudity, a woman is falsely accused of adultery. This is consistent with the play itself and is a key element to the plot of the story.
What was the year on this?
1951. We've got 2 hands up. Marty, what do you think this movie is?
Still getting it there. Never mind.
Tyler, what do you think this movie is?
Is this The Crucible?
This is not The Crucible.
Oh, that was fun to watch.
The Crucible a play? I thought it was a book.
It was turned into a play and then turned into a movie, I think.
For 3 points under violence and gore, this will help a little bit. Mild sword fights and murders, consistent with and following Shakespeare's play as written.
Oh. So it's not The Crucible.
Shakespeare's The Crucible. You should see what that guy had to say about the Salem witch trials.
He wrote the first draft.
All right, for 2 points under alcohol, drugs, and smoking, Iago convinces Cassio to drink excessively in order to weaken his mental faculties and be able to manipulate him.
Oh, yep.
All right, Tyler, what do you think?
Is this Othello?
Marty, what do you think?
My mom is an English teacher, and I'm also going to guess Othello.
This is Orson Welles as the titular Othello.
Oh, no.
That was made in 1951? Huh.
1951. Last clue, frightening and intense scenes. Some might be offended at the fact that a white man plays a black character and wears dark makeup.
I think that's underselling it a little bit.
That's a big sorry you were offended.
Like,
yeah. I feel like my reasons are pretty evident for not needing to see that movie. There's others. I can watch O from the 90s. Julia Stiles in one of her 3 modern Shakespeare movies.
Oh.
Marty taking the lead at 3, Tyler at 2, JD at 0.
Hey, it's not in the negatives.
It's not
Also,
in the negatives.
Yet.
10 Things I Hate About You is also, right?
Yes,
Play?
10 Things I Hate About You, Oh, and then she did a Hamlet with Ethan Hawke.
Gotcha.
Oh.
I want to say
Which
that
is a real weird movie. At one point, Ethan Hawke does the to be or not to be monologue while wandering a blockbuster.
What does he?
What?
What
It's
does
not
he check
good,
out
but
from
it's
the
worth seeing.
blockbuster?
I think Kyle MacLachlan's in it.
Ooh.
JD, we're back to you. Would you like a movie from 1991, 2009, or 2012?
Well, Marty, which year would you like?
I would like whichever one calls your name deep in your heart, JD.
All right, 2009.
But thank you.
2009. All right. From
I was gonna help Marty
2009.
win, okay?
For 5 points under profanity.
Ooh.
Intense swearing on multiple occasions in English, German, and Japanese.
We got another World War II movie.
You don't know that.
I'm extrapolating, Tyler. I suggest you do the same.
For 4 points under violence and gore, a man stabs another man in the foot and the knee using a scalpel. Some blood is seen. And when the man falls to the floor, the other man bites him on the neck. Blood is seen on the victim's neck and on the biter's mouth. For 3 points under violence and gore, 2 women have large scars on their cheeks with surgical staples holding them together. Tyler has a guess. Anybody else? What do you think, Tyler?
So it's not a World War II movie. This is the Human Centipede.
This sure is the Human Centipede.
Oh, gross.
That's so
honestly, the parental warnings for this movie are so upsetting.
Of course, they should be.
It is. Yep. It doesn't even seem like a fun movie.
Why doesn't it seem fun? What
why
seems like a bad time?
That? What a waste of time.
That is a very misleading first clue.
It isn't if you know that that the doctor is German and one of the centipeders is Japanese, which I only know from that South Park parody.
Why would anybody watch that though? Like, why?
Millions of people did.
Why?
Enough that they made 2 more.
Oh no!
Because you're drunk on the gay floor.
Again, I'm never going to see them, but I love that the idea of the second movie is that a guy saw the first movie and wanted to try it in real life. And it's played by the same guy who does it in the first movie.
Nick, look me in the eye and tell me that's not what the Scream sequels have become.
I mean, you're not wrong. But I enjoy the Scream sequels.
And you would too enjoy.
Also in Human Centipede, under violence and gore, a man marks 2 women and another man for surgical cuts. The man cuts into the buttock. No graphic gore is shown. And frightening and intense scenes. A woman whose mouth is surgically sewn onto a man's rear ingests some waste when the man defecates. This may be disturbing to some viewers.
Just no.
It's weird that they describe it as some.
Where's my emotional support team? Hang on.
Real sickos will love this shit. Tyler's up to 5, Marty at 3, JD at 0.
I'm not in the negatives.
You're not in the negatives. What's up, Marty?
What?
I thought you said Nick.
No, I said I'm so upset.
Oh, yeah.
You made
I
everyone
hear the
think
word
about
I'm
that
so
movie.
upset, and I assume somebody's talking about me.
I mean, if Marty's going to be upset anyways.
Well, Marty, I hope you pick a better movie this time. Would you like one from 2000, 2004, or 2016?
$2004.
2004.
God, I even remember back then.
From 2004 for 5 points. Under frightening and intense scenes. For some reason, Marty has a guess already.
I've seen so many things from 2004 that I probably can't remember for shit.
I don't know if I could remember this movie was from 2004, so I'm real excited to see what Marty's guess is going to be. But under frightening and intense
Marty
scenes,
be forced to guess it before the clue.
Although portrayed in a comedic way, there is a lot of bullying.
This is not Saw.
From 2004?
That would have been a solid guess. I tried with some of the other Saw movies that I hadn't used yet, and just wanted to stop reading the descriptions.
I read
Saw movies famous for bullying.
I read the entire plot of that series on Wikipedia the other day when I was falling asleep. So bad.
If you think about it, the first Saw movie is basically just a long form version of why are you sawing yourself? Why are you sawing yourself?
The first one is probably the only one I would watch because that came before like the torture porn stuff, and I just don't need that in my horror. For 4 points under frightening and intense scenes, children on a school bus react in horror at a cow being shot off screen.
Oh,
Tyler has a guess. Marty has a guess. Anybody else? What do you think, Marty?
I think this is Napoleon Dynamite, and if so, I'm surprised.
Tyler, what do you think?
It is Napoleon Dynamite, and I'm disappointed.
Napoleon Dynamite is a movie that when it came out, I was so annoyed by the trailer and then so annoyed by like everybody who was quoting it that I just never watched it at the time. And now it just feels too bad in my mind. Like it's not one I'm going to go back to.
You don't get to see the hater scene.
It's not like John Hader became a big actor that now I want to go back and see his humble beginnings.
I saw it on a 70 millimeter film at a Coolidge Corner Theater, and it was a blast.
Again, that's one that I figure some people might not love that I put on here, but I'm just not going to watch it.
That's what you think.
I don't want to watch it and not like it and then say I don't like Napoleon Dynamite. It's a lot easier to say I haven't seen Napoleon Dynamite. Also in this movie, alcohol, drugs, and smoking, Uncle Rico drinks a margarita at a restaurant. Profanity, theirs is no crass language or religious swearing of any kind. There are, however, 6 instances of mild cursing such as crap, sucks, pissed, and freaking. There's also 27 minced oaths, words said in place of expletives. The song Canned Heat, played during the main character's dance routine, also contains 2 uses of the word hell. And profanity in one scene, Napoleon is going to feed Tina, and he calls her a fat lard. Played for laughs.
It was hard to be a fat kid that year, I will say that.
Yes.
That decade.
Yeah.
Just that decade, though.
Now everything's great.
Now everything's great for fat people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, totally.
No
problems here whatsoever.
Well, that brings Tyler up to 9, Marty up to 7, JD. I should tell you, if you get 0 points in this, you will also get 0 points in the final round. So just something to keep in mind.
Is what you're saying?
I believe we're on to Tyler. Would you like one from 1993, 2010, or 2014?
Dude, 93.
Let's do 93. 1993 for 5 points under sex and nudity. 2 characters kiss passionately as a pre for the X act. There is a gap on their ages, and the woman is married with kids. It may be unpleasant for some young viewers. Again, they kiss passionately as a pre to the X act. For 4 points
what
under
was the year on this?
1993. 4 points under frightening and intense scenes. Characters are often depressed as their dying town repeatedly loses business. For 3 points under violence and gore, a boy beats his brother after he destroys 2 expensive birthday cakes. Tyler has a guess. Anybody else? What do you think, Tyler?
Is this What's Eating Gilbert Grape?
I don't need to see a full movie of Leonardo DiCaprio doing that voice. This is What's Eating Gilbert Grape.
I only know that from the American Dad squirrel parody of the movie.
And also, if you get sick of seeing Leonardo DiCaprio doing that voice, you get to focus on Johnny Depp instead. It's just a good time all around.
I was really obsessed with Leo back in the day, so I did see that movie.
That's surprising. Have you seen Titanic?
I know. What?
Have you seen Titanic?
Oh, just like 1,000 times. Yes.
Like, that's one of his earlier roles.
I know.
You know, the guy from Blood Diamond, back in the 90s, he did a couple of movies too.
Yeah, I know.
Violence and gore, girl chases her disabled brother, knocking him to the ground and pulling his hair. Sex and nudity, Becky and Gilbert kiss a few times, nothing explicit. Tyler's up to 12, Marty at 7, JD at 0. We're moving on. We're halfway through this show. Back up to JD.
What?
1981, 1996, 2009.
96.
96. $1996 for 5 points under frightening and intense scenes. The film can be very emotionally intense and upsetting. Although there are a number of disturbing and intense scenes, the general tone of the film is not violent or scary. For 4 points under alcohol, drugs, and smoking, people and soldiers drink after hearing that the Germans have surrendered. This one might be another World War II kind of set movie.
Wait, what year was this again?
96.
96.
96?
Okay, so
I'm probably wrong, but...
All right, JD, gonna take a guess.
I'm gonna be really off on the year on this, but Saving Private Ryan?
I mean, that's a solid guess, but does not Saving Private Ryan. I think that does also qualify for this list, though. I don't love war movies, and very few of them I feel like I need to catch up with at this point. 3 points, sex and nudity. Kristen Scott Thomas shows her vagina and breasts as she steps out of the bathtub.
Oh.
I don't know if I have more questions for Nick or JD right now.
For 2 points under frightening and intense scenes, Caravaggio's interrogation and torture scene is very emotionally intense and upsetting. Caravaggio's interrogation and torture scene are very emotionally intense and upsetting. For 1 point under violence and gore.
I know this movie. I just...
At the beginning of the film, a man is shown with his skin burnt off. Very graphic. For the rest of the film, he is disfigured and scarred all over. Looks like this might be a stumper one, which seems fair because it was a huge movie that I don't know anybody who has seen or likes. This is The English Patient.
Ah.
Certainly heard of it.
I was gonna guess Elephant Man.
That is one I feel like I need to see. It's just a hard one to say, you know what, today I'm gonna watch The Elephant Man.
Today's the day.
I still love the fact that Mel Brooks wanted to make that movie, but realized that nobody would let him make that movie. So he saw Eraserhead and said, David Lynch, would you like to make this movie? I will produce it.
He had to hide his name from it.
I think there's a few movies, like The Fly is another one that was...
Can't imagine why he would do that.
He came up with the tagline for The Fly. Be afraid, be very afraid.
You could just hear that from Mel Brooks's voice.
Everybody's the same except JD has lost a point and now is at -1.
Hey, at least we're not at 0.
That's true. Marty, would you like a movie from 1991, 2009, or 2012?
Uh, 2012.
I mean, I figured that
2009.
Okay, 2009.
Wait, what were you gonna say? Hold on.
I was gonna say when you said 20, I assumed what the next one would be.
Oh, I was going back and forth between 2012 and 2009.
And 2009.
But 2009.
I mean, I can't tell you right now, but it's wild how different those two movies are.
I would love
2009 for 5 points under violence and gore. A character stabs another with scissors twice. For 4 points under sex and nudity, a couple have sex in slow motion black and white, but moaning is not audible. Legs and shoulders up are mainly shown, but there is a close-up shot of genital penetration for about 5 seconds. Eventually they climax, and this scene is not simulated.
Oh.
This is not what I thought it was.
Or maybe
All
not.
right.
Oh.
Tyler, what do you think?
Is this Antichrist?
It sure is Antichrist.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's a couple of things I know about that movie that I don't think I need in my eyes.
Is that the one? Is it Willem Dafoe that's in it, or who?
Willem Dafoe's in it. Yep.
Where he had to use the prosthetic to appear smaller because no one would believe.
Good for him.
Also in this movie, and again, I have not included real important things in this movie. Frightening and intense scenes, by far one of the most disturbing and unsettling films to have ever been made. Certain graphic pictures and ideas will stay in your mind for days, perhaps weeks. Not for children. Sex and nudity. A woman stimulates a man's penis, which is clearly visible, as is the ejaculation. Please see violence and gore section.
Yeah.
I was going to say let your imagination wander, but it still won't get to what actually happens.
No, thank you.
Violence and gore, a fox eats its own guts, then stops and talks to a man. Which is the one other thing I know about that movie and love and wish that was in something else. Of the fox eating his own guts, then looking at the camera and saying, "Chaos reigns."
Have you heard about there's a director's cut where the fox looks at the camera and goes, "Did I do that?"
I mean, it's better than the original line, which I think was ding 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 ding.
That was just for me.
Well, that brings Tyler up to 16, Marty at 7, JD at 1.
Hey, how did I get here?
I mean, -1.
Oh, okay.
I'm so sorry to confuse you.
I don't know how I feel about doing well on this episode.
Nick, this is a very upsetting Wikipedia article.
It sure is.
Yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ.
So yeah, if you want to ruin your night and you don't know what happens in Antichrist, go Google Antichrist.
Oh, all right. I'm done.
Oh,
I'm done.
no,
I'm done.
No, I'm good. Marty's face did that for me. Thank you. No.
Ah,
I
you
didn't tell you to
okay?
look it up, Marty.
It looks like Marty has seen things.
Yes.
Hopefully not.
The Wikipedia
That's the
page.
description alone. I'm good.
All right, well, let's move on with the game. Tyler, would you like a movie?
Yes, I would.
From 1991, 2012, or 2015?
So 2015.
2015. 2015 for 5 points under sex and nudity. There is a very funny reference to the Kardashians related to sexual activity when Johnny gets into a situation. Very funny reference. For 4 points under sex and nudity, not much actual sexual content or nudity, but there is some raunchy humor and references to various sexual things. Pretty much the same as the first.
Oh. Sausage Party didn't have a sequel, so it's not that.
Yeah, and also I saw that in theaters.
Why would you do that?
It was a good movie.
Because it was the brief period where people were excited for that movie. For 3 points, also, just to interrupt myself, if you haven't already, look at the podcast, The Bechdel Cast, with Jamie Loftus and Caitlin Durante. They just covered Sausage Party to promote Jamie Loftus's book Raw Dog, a book about hot dogs. And it is very funny, and that movie is very upsetting. Where was I? 3 points, sex and nudity. A shelf full of sperm falls on top of John, and he gets covered in it.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
John. There's a lot of Johns in this.
A lot of Johns.
John and Johnny, the same
This
person?
this is just a callback to the last episode. I will specify this is neither of the Garfield movies. I know I'm talking a lot about John and sperm, and even though that happened in one strip, it's not Garfield.
It's not Johnny Tsunami.
2 points, alcohol, drugs, and smoking. Mark Wahlberg acts as Johnny Bennett, who loves weed, as well as 2 other characters. A room full of Marky Mark fans. Mr. Durniak, what do you think?
Is this Ted 2?
This is Ted 2.
I came so close to guessing Ted 2 the second you said it was a sequel, and then I was like, nah.
Mm-hmm. No, I saw the first one, hated the first one, never need to see a second one. The first one has one of the most egregious things I've ever seen in a comedy, where there's a scene in it that is just a shot for shot of a scene from Airplane. And you can't just show a scene from a different parody and expect people to laugh.
But that's Seth MacFarlane's MO.
It is. And I should send him a DM. He still follows me on Twitter.
That's one of those things that when you grow up and you like watch a couple of old comedies and then you slowly realize all your favorite Family Guy jokes were just jokes from older comedies.
Uh-huh. Last one in that, violence and gore. One scene where a stuffed bear driving recklessly on the road, then drive down in the hill and crashes into a barn.
Yeah, that probably would have done it.
In the hill.
In the hill. Down in the hill.
Down
Party
in the
hill. We're on to our final go around. 3 movies left, one more for each of you. Tyler's at 18. Marty's at 7. JD is at -1. At this rate, that final question won't even matter.
Wow. Shots fired.
JD,
yes.
Let's see if you can pick a movie here that you might know.
Oh, good.
You like a movie from 1981, 2000, or 2011?
Let's do 2000.
2000. From 2000 for 5 points under frightening and intense scenes. A man thought to be dead rises suddenly. For 4 points under frightening and intense scenes. In a very emotional sequence, a church full of innocent men, women, and children is burned to the ground, along with several likable characters, and the commander shows no remorse. Oh. Men, women, children, and also likable characters.
Just Marty.
At least they were honest.
I tend to prefer the company of other non-binary people as well.
This is the future non-binary people want in America.
Happy Pride,
Hell
everyone. Men, women, children in a church, and likable characters.
I'm here for it.
3 points under profanity. One boy tells another to, quote, wait for father. A British officer calls Benjamin Martin a, quote, cheeky fellow. Several uses of, quote, holy catfish. Tyler has a guess. Anybody else? What do you think, Tyler?
Is this 28 days later?
This is not 28 days later. It's one that I haven't seen that I do feel like I should see at some point.
Oh, it's one of those.
Yeah, one of those. For 2 points under violence and gore, a cannon fires and, in a close-up shot, takes a man's head off in slow motion. Gore flies, and we see the bloody stump of his neck for a second. Elsewhere, men's limbs are blown off by cannonballs as well.
I have a guess about what war this is.
The war where the guy came back from the dead?
The Easter War. For 1 point under violence and gore, the British systematically execute wounded Americans without a second thought. Not shown, but very disturbing.
I had the war wrong too.
Tyler has another guess. What do you think, Tyler?
This can't be it, but is this The Patriot?
It's the American Revolution movie starring 2 Australians, one of whom is Mel Gibson. This is The Patriot.
Yeah.
It's a movie that this came out in 2000, so I was like 10 or 11 when my parents wouldn't let me see the movie, so I bought the novelization of the movie.
Oh.
And never read it.
That's for the best.
Isn't this the one where something happens to his son and everyone made fun of him for overacting?
Probably. That sure sounds right. 2 movies remain. All the scores remain the same because Tyler just kind of evened out there at the end.
Yeah.
Marty,
Yes.
would you like a movie from what do we have left here? 1991, 2009, or 2012?
Is it the same 2012 as last time?
No, it isn't actually.
Oh.
Couple of movies from the year that we all died. I don't want to see.
I'm gonna go with 2012 then.
Okay.
I had no money to go to the movies that year, so I don't know like anything that came out.
2012 for 5 points under alcohol, drugs, and smoking. Several people smoke, and prisoners are offered cigarettes as incentives.
From 2012?
2012.
Hang on. I'll go ahead and raise my hand.
Okay. What do you think, JD?
This is almost about the time that Les Mis came out, right?
I think it is maybe the year Les Mis came out, but this is not Les Mis.
Yeah.
I was also thinking Les Mis.
There's no way Nick hasn't seen Les Mis.
I have never seen any version of Les Mis.
I could see Nick saying he's never going to see that too.
I feel like that's another one that is like, I should watch this. I just, it's
at least watch the Nostalgia Critic review of it.
I mean, that seems musical much worse than ever watching Les Mis.
Listen, I don't want to brag, but as like a multiple winner of musical episodes of this show, I do feel like it is a very good adaptation of a musical.
It is really good.
I've heard
of a musical.
Yeah. I've
heard this musical. You know how musical adaptations can be. They either suck or they're like super long.
And this it's also the movie that made a bunch of people think they hated Anne Hathaway for some reason.
They're wrong. She's an angel.
Oh, she was lovely in that. Thank you. I loved her in that role.
If you are trying to say that you did not cry in fucking like lies.
Princess Diaries 2.
Yeah, that too.
For 4 points under sex and nudity. Male prisoners are stripped of their clothes, but nothing more than a bare butt is ever shown.
2012, prisoners bare butt.
For 3 points under sex and nudity, a man says that he is leaving his job as an interrogator and says that he has, quote, seen too many guys naked.
Yeah, I know.
I love with almost all of these, there's such a defeated tone when you know the movie. What do you think, Tyler?
Watching Tyler
is this Zero Dark 30?
This is Zero Dark 30.
I watched that with my high school girlfriend in theaters.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure that led to a real heavy makeout session as they're dragging out Bin Laden's body.
I watched it in Tennessee, which was a wild viewing experience, let me tell you.
A lot of cheers.
A little.
I saw Hurt Locker in theaters, and by that I mean I fell asleep twice during Hurt Locker in theaters.
I think I saw Hurt Locker on an airplane.
I saw Airplane in a Hurt Locker.
I saw a Hurt Plane in a locker.
Also in Zero Dark 30, frightening and intense scenes. The first 40 minutes of the film are intense as it depicts the CIA interrogating a prisoner. Violence and gore, the main character IDs Bin Laden's dead body by opening the body bag at the end of the film. One movie remains, and this is Tyler's game unless he does something real wild in the final round.
Real wild.
Tyler's at 21, which I think high score for you.
Oh, gotta get rid of that.
Marty at 7, JD at -2.
Excellent.
Tyler, you get to pick the last movie on here.
Ooh.
Would you like a movie from 1990, 2009, or 2011?
Let's do 2011.
So happy you picked that, and I can get this movie out of the game.
Wow.
Last movie from 2011 for 5 points under profanity. 1 use of bitch, 1 git, 3 bloody, 3 bloody hell, 1 swine.
The 1 swine, as in like
1 swine.
Okay.
Not once wine. For 4 points under frightening and intense scenes, there are many deaths of main and known characters throughout, which can be upsetting and emotional to viewers. For 3 points under violence and gore, on the aftermath of the bank heist, the villain is shown slaying everybody in the bank lobby room for failing to stop the heroes, with lifeless bodies of goblins and humans strewn up everywhere around the room.
I'm trying to
Go
figure
ahead,
out.
Marty.
I'm trying to figure out which one came out that year. Because I thought maybe with the first clue.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's a Harry Potter.
Might be.
And it would have been... I think it is... Jesus Christ. Okay.
Harry Potter 6. Jesus Christ.
I know when the first one came out, and that's it. I'm gonna go Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1.
It is not Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1.
Okay.
2 more opportunities. I think we're all on the right track here. For 2 points under sex and nudity, 2 characters kiss passionately in the Chamber of Secrets. We got 2 hands up. JD, do you want to guess one?
Sure, why not?
All right, JD. Pick a Harry Potter movie. Really hate starting.
I guess
No, go ahead. I really hate doing one of Joanne's movies on the first day of Pride Month, but been dying to get this out of the system.
Transphobic of you, Nick.
Tyler, what do you think?
This is Harry Potter and the Spy Who Shagged Me.
Marty, what do you think?
I am going to go with... It's either the Half-Blood Prince or Deathly Hallows Part 2.
That's what I said, Nick. I said Half-Blood Prince, by the way.
I heard you, JD.
Okay, cool.
You know what? It's either going to be me or JD. I'm going Deathly Hallows Part 2.
It was actually the Spy.
You're both wrong. It is Harry Potter in Goldmember.
I knew it.
This is Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2.
Nice.
It has been on the list so long that it wasn't as awful to have it on the list originally.
Nick.
Bloody hell, Malfoy stole my mojo.
She was bad when this game started.
Yeah, that's not something I can deny, but you know, we were having fun and she has just gotten so much worse over the last 2 years. Fuck Joanne, fuck her bad writing. Not even gonna read the last clue.
I like her tie-dye kits.
I like her fabrics.
Wow.
That brings us to the final question. Again, we are doing this a little different than we've been doing it. In the past, I've told people this is like Final Jeopardy. I give you between 1 and 10 points to risk on this question. Starting now, I'm giving you your full total, 0 to your total, so you can risk 0 if you want. If you're in the negatives, you can risk that amount. So JD, you can risk up to 3 points. Marty, you can risk up to 8 points. Tyler, you can risk up to 20 points.
Cool.
Based on how well you think you know some bullshit question about my tastes.
Oh.
I want you to privately message me your bet between 0 and your point total before I get to this question, which again is a bullshit question about my point total that I felt my likes, my dislikes. We've got some bets coming in. We've got all the bets coming in. All right. So as I've done many times in this game, I went to IMDb's top 250 movies of all time. I've seen 118 of the 250 movies on that list. How many movies of those would I personally say I didn't need to see? I want you to privately message me how many of the 118 movies, the best of all time, that I don't think were necessary to see. Person who gets closest gets their bit. If you get exactly right, I'm going to still give you that extra 3 points because that seems fair. We've got two in right now. We've got 3 in. Let me see what that has done to the scores. Tyler, you guessed 48 movies. Marty, you guessed 34 movies. JD, you guessed 67 movies. I do have the list here, so you know that I'm not like making this up. Turns out only 15 of these movies I definitely could have done without in my life.
Oh.
I'll read through them real quick so everyone can get justifiably angry at me. It Happened One Night, Dead Poets Society, $1 Million Baby, Gran Torino, Shutter Island, Doctor Strangelove, American Beauty, The Prestige, Whiplash, Seven, Inception, Forrest Gump, and all 3 Lord of the Rings movies.
What?
Uh-huh.
Okay,
I was mostly bummed about Doctor Strangelove.
It didn't connect with me. And I recently saw Shot in the Dark, and I think I just don't like Peter Sellers.
Okay. Nick, important question. Why weren't the Hobbit movies on that list?
I will say I had a much bigger list that I had to get rid of movies that some of you have played before.
Mm-hmm.
So what remained on the list that we didn't get to? Alvin and the Chipmunks Chipwrecked.
What?
What was the 2012 one?
There's still I think there's still at least one in here. Let me see. Dances with Wolves, JFK, Sully, Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, Ratchet and Clank, 127 Hours, The Theory of Everything, Christmas Carol, Das Boot, The Doors, and the other 2012 was Dark Shadows.
That was the Johnny Depp one, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I saw that with that same girlfriend.
She's an ex, right?
Yes.
The way he's blinking.
Growing up, I loved Tim Burton, and there came a point at around 2007 that everything went real bad.
Was it Alice in Wonderland? Was that when it
I think that was the first one where I'm like, oh, this fucking sucks.
It sucks, and it's bad to look at.
Uh-huh.
I will say the Wikipedia page for the original In Dark Shadows, also a really fun read.
Oh yes, so much
happened. Hundreds of episodes.
That was one of my grandmother's favorite shows.
And like Peter fucking Quint from Turn of the Screw is a character in it. Like they just like we're just out here writing fan fiction and making it into soap operas.
So let's see what that did with the totals, because I haven't even wrapped up this game yet. JD, who guessed 67 movies, bet 3 points, loses another 3 points.
Excellent.
Tyler guessed 48, but bet 0 points, keeping Tyler at 20. Marty guessed 34, bet 3 points, goes up to 11. But our winner tonight with the 20 points.
Bet 5, Nick.
Welcome back to the show. I think your first win since, I don't know, 2020 or 2021.
Just in general, just in life.
Just in life.
First win.
Yeah. Yeah, everything I said to you at the beginning of the show. Not as much of a win as doing this stupid YouTube game.
It's been a while. I've needed this W.
This is why you need to come back on the show more often. I miss you being bad at this game.
I'm only good at guessing movies that you despise by the concept.
Marty, thank you for the correction. Yours and JD's came in at exactly the same time, and I read them both as 3. But Marty bet 5. So 13 points for Marty, still losing by 7. But petty. It's more accurate. I want you to have that too. Before I finish this up, Marty, what do you think of this format? Is it less angering?
I like this a lot. I'm very excited about the chaos that is possible here.
When I get the worst guess and I have to explain what each of them can bet, the show's going to go on another 15 minutes.
I'm very excited for like that specific situation.
I'm glad. I finally got a compliment out of you.
Nick, you're my friend and I enjoy spending time with you, whatever it is, even if I hate your fucking minigame.
Can you say it a little more pained? That almost sounded sincere.
Oh.
Yeah, you really want to go in nasally.
I'm gonna turn my fucking AC back on.
Well, this was so much fun. Thank you all for doing this. Before we go, if there's anything you want to promote, anywhere you want to be found, any last words, JD, how would you like to wrap us up tonight?
Yeah.
Great.
Honestly, Nick, most of my stuff is in person right now, so I am good. Thank you.
All right. If you are in the West Coast area, go see JD do some things.
Follow them around.
I'm not even going to specify what part of the West Coast. Just walk up the coastline until you find them.
Contact them at a Ralph's.
What?
Marty, anything you want to say before I apologize to you?
Oh, you don't have to apologize for shit. Happy Pride Month, y'all. I will be in Massachusetts next week, and I am in the market for a friend with Netflix so I can watch the last episode of Ultimatum Queer Love without having to wait a week to go home. So if you are in Massachusetts,
my friends are on that show.
Love, all my goddamn gay friends in Massachusetts are little old men gay people. And it's such a problem because I just need someone to be sapphic garbage with me. So if you're in Massachusetts and you have Netflix and you'll be around sometime between like June 9th and like June 13th, let's watch the last episode of Ultimatum Queer Love. I'll bring the snacks. It'll be a good time.
What a wonderful plug. And Marty, I do truly adore giving you shit on this show, as well as I enjoy you.
Well, shucks.
Finally, our winner tonight, something, again, I have not said very often on this show. Tyler Durniak, what do you want to tell people about?
I got a very special comedy show I'm running with Matt Shore on the 25th of June. It's going to be a dual headline show. We're each going to do a half hour because we've decided to start being very self-serving. That's at the Garrison House in Brookline. Come on by.
No, that is awesome. It's your space. You gotta really milk it for all it's worth.
Oh, we are. I steal straws every time I go in there.
But think of the turtles, Tyler. They want straws too.
No, I volunteer at this program that teaches turtles how to use straws properly. So we're going to use education so that turtles can identify straws, and then,
But yeah, go to that show. Tyler and Matt are two of the funniest guys in Boston right now. Just nice boy comedy.
I've only got 10 minutes of nice boy comedy. The other 20 minutes that I don't usually do is all bad boy comedy.
I can't wait to hear your takes. You're crossing the lines. You're saying what people are really thinking.
Yeah, I do a lot of truths. I say a lot of truth to power.
Somebody has to. Who else, if not a white man?
Finally, a place where our voice can get heard.
If you want to see two white men in Boston do comedy, the only place you can see that is Tyler and Matt's show.
You can see it at the DMV up here.
Well, this has been so much fun. Thank you all for being here. Once again, JD Stephans, Marty Viscosi, Tyler Durniak. I'm Nick Martucci. You can find me on all social media at Blundering Idiom. Find the show on Facebook, search Inappropriate Movie Database, or click the link in the description of this video. Twitter and Instagram at IMDb Game. Starting next week, we're just going to be doing Monday nights in June at 9 p.m. Eastern right here on this channel. Like I said, all of those shows fully booked up, but if you want to be on the wait list for any of those shows, people forget that they sign up for this show. So spots might always be available. It's going to be, we got some good ones this month. We'll be back this Monday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, with movies of queer joy. Because enough gay people die in real life that we don't need to only watch movies where they die.
No, please. No.
If you like this, like, subscribe, do all that YouTuber stuff. I'm running out of steam. I want to go to bed. I want to not be doing this show anymore. I give up.
And then it just cuts.
Watch some of the other episodes. Come back on Monday.